This clip is going to deal with we'll say, deregistration of someone you might register by mistake for the current year. So we're going to go to the members option, and we're going to look at someone who currently isn't registered. What we'll do then is look at that person's registration history or membership history, and then register them for the current year, and then decide to deregister the person. So we'll pick this individual here called Joe Ainsworth. So to go in and look at that person's history of membership in the club, just click on his name. That brings us into his details. So up on the top, by default you end up on the personal details, this first tab. So we see the person's unique ID, name, date of birth, address, etc. and phone numbers. The second tab here, if you need to edit it, is the discipline related tab. So there's nothing there for the individual on discipline. And the third section is membership. So we can see that this individual, Joe Ainsworth, was a member of Ballinaccarrigy in 2010. So we can look at the background of that membership by just clicking on 2010. And we go in here and see that again his ID number, name and date of birth, the kind of vital details, and then below that the membership details. So for 2010 his membership type was full, and he wasn't a player, and he wasn't a referee or an assessor. So given that we're not going to change any of those details, we can just cancel and go back. So when we cancel and go back, we go back to the previous screen. And again we're looking at his overall profile. So we've seen his personal, seen his discipline. We're looking over membership now, and we can also look at his privileges. So his privileges are what use he or she can make of the membership system for, say, adding and registering members, sending SMSs, etc. So this person, Joe Ainsworth, hasn't any privileges at the minute. So what we're now going to do is go back and register him for the current year. So that was his profile for the past. So as you can see, when we scroll down, he's still appearing in red. He hasn't been registered. So we're going to go to the registration page, and we're going to see him there with all the other people appearing in red, and we're going to register him. So we look first of all at his membership type. He's full by default. We can change it if we need to something else. And he's currently not a player, so that box is unticked. So we're happy with that. We want to leave him as full, and we want to leave him as a non-player, and we can just hit register. So we tick him, press register, and he'll be registered now in any second. And the message comes up on the top there in the green background. All persons submitted were registered, and Joe Ainsworth has disappeared there. Okay, he should be between Joe Adams and Joe Allen. He's no longer there. So if we go back to him, if we go back to the View Members page, this time when we see Joe Ainsworth, he should be appearing in black. So there he is in black. What we can do now is click on him again, and we can go in and see that he's currently registered for 2011. So there's his personal details, but the membership tab stores his membership history. So when we click on the membership tab, we now see that as well as being a member in 2009 and 2010, he's now a member for 2011. So we just say, for the sake of argument, that we want to keep him for the moment, and we want to make him a referee. So click on his membership, we go down here, and we, by default, or his current status is like he was last year, he's not a referee or an assessor. So we'll change it to yes, and we'll submit him. And by making him a referee, that means that the people who use the fixture system, the other system that's linked into the membership system, those doing fixtures in the county can see now that Joe Ainsworth is a referee in Ballinaccarrigy. So that means when they're doing their work appointing referees and doing related work with fixtures, that Joe Ainsworth appears in their list as a referee. So it's important at club level that if you have a referee, that when you've registered him or her, that you go in to the year in question, in this case 2011, click on the year and go in and change his details from being a non-referee or a non-assessor to being a referee, like was done here a moment ago. So Joe Ainsworth is now a referee. So that's that part of the deal completed. So the next thing we'll do is we'll say that we didn't want to register Joe Ainsworth. He shouldn't have been registered at all. So we did him by mistake. So we want to cancel his membership for the year. Now we don't want to delete Joe Ainsworth. We just want to delete his membership for the current year. He's gone away for the year. He might come back in the future. So we're not going to delete him. We're just going to deregister him for the current year. So you go back into his profile, back to membership, and what we can do is we can tick him here and then delete him. But before I do that, I'm just going to look at his, you see an extra panel has appeared here. Initially there was just personal discipline, membership, privileges and referees. Now we see a referees tab. So we'll just look at the referees tab, and it doesn't tell us anything additional about Joe at the moment, so it doesn't. Okay, it doesn't tell us when he's refereed games, what competition it was, etc. So there's nothing there of relevance because I've just appointed him a moment ago or made him a referee a moment ago. So that section will currently be empty. So anyway, we go back to his membership, and we'll see the 3 years appearing in a moment. And as I said a moment ago, Joe was registered by mistake for 2011, and we want to delete his 2011 membership. We're not deleting Joe, we're just deleting his membership. So what happens is, as you'll see in a moment, we're now left with 2009 and 2010. So 2011 membership is gone. If we go back to view members, just click on the view members link here above personal and discipline. When we click that, we're taken back to the screen we were on earlier on. And when we get there, scroll down a little bit, Joe Ainsworth is back in red. So in other words, Joe Ainsworth isn't registered for 2011. So that's how you might happen to take someone, register them, make them a referee, and then realise that you shouldn't have registered them. So you can deregister that person for the year, and he appears then back in red. So if you registered someone by mistake, that's how you address the problem and take him off the registration list for the current year. So that's the end of this clip on membership by mistake, we'll say, or registration by mistake.